Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the couple folks that caught me in a test a little bit earlier. Oh, and you know what? Speaking of that test, here I once again come unprepared because I wanted to bring my own stream up on another tablet while I look at it here to see if that worked. But either way, good evening to everyone, or good morning if you're in Australia, New Zealand, or Asia. I hope everyone had a glorious Pi Day. I will say that selfishly, I'm always a little disappointed in Pi Day because I really like pie, and the only specials around here are on pizza. And I like pizza, but like I really want pie. Is that weird? I don't know. You always want what you can't have. Ethan Scott, good. I almost said morning. I'm okay. Really, I am. Bear with me. Let me just bring this up on one of my other devices here. So, mostly, I wanted to, well, I wanted to say hi. I always like saying hi, but I wanted to also mention the news today from the CDC because I've not been. There are some great folks on the YouTubes and on Facebook and everywhere else, keeping up to date with the latest news at every opportunity, latest cruise news, and I've not been one of those because frankly, it's a lot to keep up on. They do a better job, but I thought that this one was worth pointing out for a couple reasons. One, I like good news. Oh, wow, hang on. Stop the presses on Pi Day. What are the odds? Fantastic. That's awesome. Thank you for pointing that out. Um, cruise brain. I always have cruise brain because I'm either in a fog because I just got off a cruise and I didn't sleep enough, or I'm thinking about being on another cruise. So here's the reason that the CDC news was worthy of my coming on and doing another live, even though I did one yesterday. And not only because it's good news, and it is, but because of some parts of it that I don't think are getting quite as much mention. So, the CDC. No, I have not yet watched Poseidon. That was just yesterday. I got things going on. So the CDC previously had put cruising at a level 3, and today it moved to a level 2, and that means they say there's a moderate risk of COVID to cruising. Now, we could all debate for a long time, those of us that are frequent cruisers follow this information, how much that even makes sense, given that it's still relative to being anywhere else, and by that measure, it's a lot better being on a ship. But um, this does, for one, just from a marketing standpoint, sound a lot better, right? Moderate risk. And basically, we're saying, hey, if you are vaccinated, if you are boosted or even recently vaccinated, then go on a cruise by all means. Um, you know, the only consideration is if you have some sort of pre-existing condition that puts you at particularly high risk, and that's something that everyone should talk to their doctor about either way whenever you do anything. Um, but also, what's interesting is they introduced this concept of I'm going to share my screen here, of having of being able to modify the risk level depending on other factors. Let me zoom in. There we go. So what they're essentially doing is they're looking at how many there's a couple things, but mostly crew. How many crew members on ships have tested positive in the last 14 days? Now, keep in mind, crew get tested regardless of symptoms. Most ships test every 3 or 4 days, test all the crew. And that's why during Omicron, you had all these crew members who were isolated, even though they felt fine. Most of them, not taking away from those that didn't feel great for a few days. Uh, the the other thing that they use would be new symptomatic cases. So it's interesting, and I haven't heard anyone mention this, that they're actually kind of differentiating symptomatic versus asymptomatic case. And I don't know what their logic is exactly. I don't think it's bad. Um, but I think it's interesting because it's the first I've noticed that there's been recognition that um, many the vast majority of people who are vaccinated, especially those that are boosted, are going in and they're asymptomatic, or those who even who have had recent infections are asymptomatic. Ethan, thank you for joining. We'll catch you next time. I will at some point watch Poseidon. Um, so just that recognition alone, I thought was important because that means we could, in the future, maybe get to a place where they recognize that infections by the numbers are maybe not the sole thing to look at. Now, for certain, for visiting ports of call, especially where they have lower vaccination rates, poor healthcare systems, they're going to look at that. I get that. You hope testing crumb goes away, release changes back to 3 days before, makes it a lot easier for us. Yeah, Brian, I totally get that. Listen, I drive to cruise ports usually, or well, just Uber, here in South Florida, and still like 2 days can be a little tight at times. So if you're flying in, if you've got family to deal with, yeah, I get it. I understand why they took it to 2 days earlier. I will say Carnival Cruise Line. I think it's just Carnival Cruise Line. I don't think other Carnival brands have done it. As always, correct me if I'm wrong. They did something interesting a few weeks ago. They said, "Hey, if you are boosted or if you received your vaccine in the last 6 months, your final dose, then you can actually get tested within 3 days out rather than two." I wouldn't be shocked if we see other lines do that, even just as a form of incentive. Um, April's Wonder April 1st is sold out. Um, James, you said they're apparently 50%. I heard they were at 60. I don't know. They may change that depending on a lot of different things, right? Um, but I'm always happy to see people on ships and cruises getting booked up. That's good for everyone. Going on Symphony instead because of that. Listen, if I when I sail Symphony again, I'm sure I will at some point. I'm happy just sitting up at the solarium staring at the big wonder. Michael Pastor, hello, hello. So yeah, getting back to the CDC thing, just imagine what the other possibilities are if the CDC continues recognition that symptomatic cases are different than asymptomatic. What that does for contact tracing, what that does to reduce the burden on cruise lines in moving people around. Might that change? I know one big thing that folks don't like, and I get it, is you might book the nicest suite on board, but if you come up positive, even if you are asymptomatic, you get moved to that row of regular rooms just like everyone else does. Yeah, you're not paying for that anymore because, geez, I was not spending on being cooped up here. So maybe that's something that we can look forward to. Maybe we can look forward to again less contact tracing in general, or maybe one day, maybe no isolation. But just that recognition is a very good thing in my opinion. I hope I don't say your name wrong. Is it Chanel? Hello in Barbados. Awesome. Thank you for following along. Barbados, one of the very first cruise ports that well, Bridgetown, one of the first ports that I visited after the return of cruising in June on Celebrity Millennium. And thank you, Barbados, for being awesome to the cruise industry. But Chanel, I hope you're well, and I appreciate you tuning in. And I hope I said your name right. So that's the big thing in terms of cruise news today. I haven't seen anything else huge come up. I think second to that, the biggest thing cruise news is that it's Pi Day, and I now have 3.14K subscribers on YouTube, which is pretty awesome. I wish it was like 31,400 or 310,000 or 314,000. I can't words or math, but that's it. In part, I'll be honest, I thought, you know what, I can go on and talk about this, answer any questions, and see if that little test broadcast I did earlier worked. And looking here at my tablet, I think it did. So good news for that. Um, I did look at another thing today. I told you guys if you were in the broadcast yesterday, I was looking at Oasis of the Seas at extending my April 7th trip. Still eyeing that, but I'm thinking I'm going to make it a last minute call because I want to do some testing on the ship because I'd be working, and I always like testing things if I can, if I'm going to be working from the ship. Anywho, that's it for the CDC thing. If anyone has any questions, let me know. Remember, the CDC does keep a color chart, tells you about recent infections on ships. Oh, good, I did pronounce your name right. Good, thank you. And yes, I've always had a wonderful time in Barbados. So you can always check the CDC's website. They keep track of. They not only show the the current guidance and such, but they've also got the color chart, and I'm not on the color chart. I thought I was on the color chart. Where's the color chart? There we go. And they even built a dashboard now so you can filter and see which ships are, for example, green, which means they don't have any cases reported recently compared to yellow, which means yeah they have some, but they're within, as we say, within normal limits, right? No investigation needed. Oops. Or orange, investigating, um, or red, and there are additional measures in place. There are no red ships right now, which is great. And in fact, the vast majority of ships are green or yellow. For those wondering, by the way, I just checked this. Royal Caribbean, where is it? Wonder of the Seas. Oh, there it is, right there. Wonder of the Seas, and I didn't mean to click that. So now I don't know what's going on. Huh. Wonder of the Seas is green, so no reported cases yet. That in mind, this dashboard in the past has taken um, a couple days to update. There are some on the yellow and orange, but we'll see how that goes. The next step for the CDC, in case you're wondering, would be to move to a level one, which is pretty much the same as level two. The big difference, um, I think, being the guidance for, if I'm not mistaken, the guidance for persons that have um, high risk conditions. But again, if you have a high risk condition, any sort of pre-existing condition before any sort of travel, probably a good idea to talk with your doctor anyway. So I think it's a good change. I'm glad the CDC is recognizing that's the most important part, the difference between symptomatic and asymptomatic cases, at least among crew, when they have these levels set up that pertain to the notice. And just know that that also means these could change. So you could be in the middle of your cruise, and even if your ship has no cases, even if things on land aren't really changing that much, depending on what happens, other crew, other ships, that could be a factor. All right, I'm gonna go have a late dinner. I appreciate you guys joining me for this quick broadcast and little mini test of my previous test, if you will. Make sure you check out cruisehabit.com, and I will shamelessly plug. Cruising with JT's here. Um, Well, so Cruising with JT, make sure you guys subscribe, by the way, to his channel. Last week was the first cruise no mask for. Yeah, I forget because I took so many sailings on Virgin and Celebrity that a lot of folks hadn't cruised maskless yet in the last couple years. So pretty well. Glad you got to experience that. I never like to leave when comments keep coming, so you guys will keep me here all day, and that's okay. How's Wonder of the Seas compared to Virgin and Celebrity? Listen, the big thing I say about Royal Caribbean compared to other lines, in fact, contemporary cruising, whether it's Royal Caribbean, NCL, or Carnival, is it depends what you're looking for. If you are looking for those high energy activities, you are looking for the water slides, the rock climbing walls, surf simulators, go karts on NCL, all that stuff. If that's the type of time you're looking for, then you know what that you will find it happily in those contemporary lines. MSC also does a great job with some of those things. If you are looking for um, more favorable passenger to space ratios, passenger crew ratios, you're looking for elevated cuisine, stuff like that, then you probably want to look up market. So for me, if I'm not traveling with friends that are looking for the kind of thing that contemporary lines offer, um, if it's we're not traveling with folks that have kids, stuff like that, then we're generally looking at Celebrity, Virgin lines like that. That said, I will repeat what I've said multiple times in multiple articles and videos. Royal Caribbean's execution on the Oasis class ships is just so fantastic that I do encourage people to check it out, even if it's not what you're looking for. It doesn't mean you're going to change and think, oh, yeah, you know what, this is way better. You might still prefer some other cruise product later. Maybe that's Holland America. Maybe that's Cunard. Maybe it's Virgin, Celebrity, Oceania. But I think it's hard for most people not to appreciate it. In fact, I do want to get my father on, even just for the day or something, on an Oasis class ship one day, so that he can see that, because it is it is quite a different thing. Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, everyone hit that like button. I appreciate that. Subscribe if you don't already. Even to these little mini broadcasts, it's fun talking ship with all of you. So I'm going to start the sign off thing again. But if there are more questions or ideas, let me know. I really do enjoy talking to you guys. It makes me feel a lot better for those times that I'm not on a ship, and I am not on a ship for 3 whole weeks. I don't know how everyone else does it. I'm a very spoiled and lucky person. Um, check out the site. I will now I will execute that shameless plug and remind everyone that coming up in July we've got the Virgin Voyages group cruise. So if you want to hang out, I would love to talk ship with all of you in person over on Scarlet Lady. And you can find out more information virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. We've got some special special perks and incentives for those that are going to be joining that cruise with us. And I thought I had another. Oh, here we go. Ranging from additional onboard credit to special events, things you can't book otherwise. In fact, this is an out of date graphic because right now, depending on what category you book, you can get up to $400 of onboard credit. In fact, so yeah, come join us. That'd be fun sometime. I loved Wonder of the Seas. I No matter what type of cruiser you are, as I said, I think it's hard not to appreciate the Oasis class ships, and Wonder was their latest and greatest of that. There were some nice improvements, things that I liked over Symphony and Harmony and Allure, and I look forward to seeing in 3 weeks what I think about Oasis because I've never been on Oasis, but Oasis was refurb, so there are some differences there. We'll see. Guys, if you have any further questions, do reach out on social media. Make sure you follow along on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and hit the bell on YouTube so you're alerted when we go live or post new videos. We'll get some more Wonder of the Seas content out soon, but we did post another video this morning. This morning was the cabin tour. It's a cabin tour of our Central Park balcony room 11235. So if you want to see what that's like and find out my thoughts on the room, then head over and watch that video, comment with questions, and maybe we'll start doing. I always say maybe we'll do more live broadcasts. But you know what? We had good momentum last week. We've done 2 already this week, 3 if you got my weird test thing that some of you caught, and yeah. We'll keep doing it. Next weekend, maybe we'll go out if the weather's nice, do some sailaways. I missed that. I appreciate you guys joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your pie day. I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to go see if I can find pie. I'm going to go to a diner. I'm going to go find pie. That's what I'm doing. Thanks. We'll talk ship with you again.